First of all, I want to, say praise to God for standing before y'all right now, because it's been a long path, long journey. When I was around y'all's age, there was a group, I was explaining to a group of brothers in the other room a minute ago, there was a group called NWA. And any of y'all ever heard of a group called NWA? Those of y'all who haven't heard of NWA, you heard of Young Jeezy. The Young Jeezy's group started from a group that they were inspired by called NWA, which was niggas with attitude. When I was y'all's age, I was so influenced by this group that I stole my mom's car, drove to California to try to get down with Ruthless Records, because I'm a musician myself, I'm a rapper myself, so I was going to go get into rap game. So I drove and stole gas all the way. I didn't make it to see Easy. I ended up getting locked up in Los Angeles juvenile, and I got introduced to the Rolling 60s Crips as a result of this action. And not to get too far into that, but because I was introduced to them when I came back to Fort Worth, I decided that I wanted to start a Crip gang on the west side of Fort Worth, and that's what I did. And as a result from that, many different groups split from that. Now, I'm telling you these things because I want you to understand that as blacks and Latinos off inside this room, we're not being targeted. The world is not so angry at you because of what communities you come from, or because you are from Tango or MA or the Texas Syndicate or the Crips or Bloods or GDs or Vice Lords or any of those type of things. Understand, as African and Latino children, that you were the first teachers of the planet, right? Because the Latino children, as we call ourselves Mexicans or Hispanics or whatever proper names they want to use, your original people come from Aztec, Toltecs, Mayans, and Incans, who are original descendants that come from Africa. Right. At one point in time, Mandingos, Aztecas, and Mayans all mingled with each other. That's how those pyramids got built off in South America. Right. So at one point in time, you were the teachers of the world. And so what they had to do, and the reason why I'm saying they don't fear you because of your Crips and Bloods, your neighborhood. They fear you because you were the first teachers of science, mathematics, physics, astrology, astronomy. You the ones who taught the world. You are. When you look at yourselves, you are the future. I'm humbled to be in front of y'all. I'm humbled to have this opportunity to sit down and talk to y'all, because I know y'all where it's at. It's your visions right now at this age that has the world trembling right now. That's right. It's those thoughts sitting inside your minds of wanting to be the leaders, of wanting to be on that television set and letting the world hear what you have to express to the world that has everybody in fear. But what I want y'all to understand is I want y'all to listen. I don't want y'all to be duped like I got duped. See, I got fooled by people who were looking like me, who was on that television set telling me things, and I believed those brothers. I believed that they was living this lifestyle. I believed that they was banging. I believed that they was going into penitentiaries. And I was engulfed by them because they were saying something to society that I wanted to say. I was mad living in the ghetto. I was mad because I felt that the world didn't care about me and everything was hopeless. I was mad because people were going to school and had the new shoes, and I was shopping my clothes at Thrift Market. I was getting my designer clothes and my Jordans and things from hand-down stores. And I wanted what they had. Because the world teaches us if you ain't got something, you ain't got no voice, right? There's an expression, and I talk about it in one of the books I wrote, and I don't know who the author is, but it says, he who controls images controls minds. I want y'all to listen to this. He who controls images. Y'all know the Nike commercial? Yeah. Image is everything, right? You want to look right in front of them girls you're trying to holler at, right? You want to look right, you want to have something so everybody, the next individual next to you knows that you shining, that you coming down, right? That you about your business, that you're a young boss, right? So image is everything. It says that he who controls images controls minds, and he who controls minds is worried little or less about how much money you got, about how many homies you got, about how much weight you can lift or how many guns you got, because if I can control your image, I can control your destination before you even know what your destination is.
Good teaching.
So somebody's controlling the perception that we have of ourselves. And to not to get into a long conversation, because I know at your age, y'all ain't trying to hear a whole bunch of people talking for a long time. I know this. I done sat there. Y'all know what Kimbo Road is? Any of y'all youngsters know what Kimbo? How many of y'all have been to Kimbo Road? All right. I've been to Kimbo Road about 6-7 times, man. Went to Gainesville State School twice. Once you get your foot inside the door, it's hard to get out, man.
That's right.
They're waiting for you to mess up to start a record so that the rest of your life, I've spent more time in correctional facilities. Listen, I've spent more time behind bars than I have been on the planet.
Wow.
All of my youthfulness, all of the time that I had that I could have been doing something inspired. I was behind somebody's wall somewhere. And a lot of people gave up on us. And these shirts that y'all got on right now, if it wasn't for the Emojo Brothers' message and reaching off inside the prisons, if it wasn't for these brothers like Luther Perry and the Honorable Reverend Roosevelt Sutton.
That's
I
right.
say honorable because Reverend Roosevelt Sutton, he reached into prison and sent me books. And he didn't forget after the truce. He stayed in touch with me and made sure that I stayed on a good path. If it wasn't for these brothers, I wouldn't have a chance. And right now, I done wrote 9 books. If you could hand me those books right there. I've written 9 books when I was off inside prison. I have 6 authors that are signed to my publishing company. Now, the thing about this, and I'm not talking about this to be bragging, I'm proud of myself to have a publishing company to be able to do these things. But I didn't have to go to the penitentiary to do this.
Come on now.
That's right.
I didn't have to go to the penitentiary to tap into my potential.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. How many of y'all have seen pictures or have been or lived by the water before? Everybody in here knows what the ocean is, right? Yeah. I just want to be on the same page. I ain't saying you're belittling your intelligence. Believe me, I know y'all know. Really, I would like to sit down and listen to y'all talk so y'all can pull me up to par on what's going on right now. Because the vision is with y'all. But if you see an ocean is vast, right? You can't drink all that water. How many of y'all can't swim? Yeah. Brother don't want to be caught up in all that water, right? Even those of us who can swim don't want to be out there because you can't drink all that water. An ocean. Now, if you take a cup and you scoop the water out of that ocean, what's the difference of the substance inside the cup, the water that's in the cup that's off inside the ocean? What's the difference?
It's light. Salt. It's light.
I'm going to ask again. You take a cup, you scoop it out the ocean, and you look at that water in that cup, and you look at that vast ocean, what's the difference? Say it again. There's no difference. You know why there's no difference? Because the water in the cup came from the same vast ocean, right?
That's right.
What is my point? Whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, Buddhist, whatever you believe in, it says that our Creator, when He created us from the humulus or the humus, which is a fancy way of saying dark, hue is a way of saying dark, so human means man who was dark, the dark man, the original man who started that all other nations of mankind came from, right? It says that when He formed us from this clay, that He did what? What happened next after He formed us? He breathed. He blew His breath within inside us, which made us living beings. Right? What does that mean? That vast ocean, which we understand to be God, blew within inside that cup, you and I, some of His essence.
Teach, bro.
But you have the same potential as God. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something in the book of John 10:34. Jesus Himself says, did I not say that you are gods?
That's what He said.
Come on now.
And why did He say that we were gods?
That's right. Because we from God.
Because we His children.
Woo.
Huh?
Come on.
Because you have the same abilities. Because your soul is what? God's breath.
That's right.
This is why they're trying to put you to sleep.
Teach, bro.
Because once you start tapping with inside yourself, you can do anything that y'all been thinking about doing when y'all sitting down and y'all look at them videos. You know, when y'all be watching them videos, man, and you want to shine, come down like that. You want the new Benz and the Bentley. You want the new cars. What they call them, donks now? Yeah. Y'all, man, I don't even know how y'all doing it, but 30 inches of rims this tall. You got to get a ladder to step up inside. And I ain't really a donk man. I'm a low rider type. I like mine to the floor. But listen to what I'm saying. You can have all that and then some, but you ain't got to sell dope.
That's
and
right.
be no criminal.
That's right.
To get that.
That's right.
Go ahead. You teach.
Let me just explain something else, and I'm going to scale back, because I see some of y'all yawning and getting a little tired. Let me tell you something. We were just talking over in the other class a minute ago about why when we go in the white community, they got so much money, and they got these nice cars and all this stuff, and then when we go in the black and Hispanic community, while we live in hoods and our houses are broke down.
Uh-oh.
Right? And some of the brothers gave their answers that, white people believe that, we going to tear up something or we going to do this. And let me tell y'all something. The only reason that they live in better communities is because they were able to benefit from 400 years of free labor.
Teach, bro. Teach, bro.
They were able to benefit from 400. Your great-grandfather couldn't pass nothing down to your grandfather, who couldn't pass nothing down to your father to have for you right now.
That's right.
Right.
Their grandfathers had free labor for 400 years.
Teach, bro.
That's like if any of y'all play football or run track.
Right.
Now, if there's a race to the 100-yard line, and they start at the 80.
Right.
It's a race to the 100. They start at the 80-yard line, and you start at 0. And they shoot the gun. Pow! And y'all go to running, and they get to the 100 and be like, look at you. You can't even catch up. How you gonna have a race and you start at the 80 and you start at 0 and you gonna catch up with them? How's that possible?
Come on now.
You can't never win if they at the 80-yard line. And the reason why we're in that condition right now is that they started centuries ahead of us. But you know what they scared about?
Come on now.
What they scared
all
of?
the oppression, after all the torture, all the rape, all the beating, all the wrong teachings, you almost have leveled the playing field right now. And that ain't nothing but about 60 years. You done caught up in almost 60 years. And so they have to keep you distracted from the truth.
You
That's
teach
right.
it, man. You teach it.
Because the playing field is level now, y'all.
That's right.
It's 2014.
Uh-huh.
But the only way you're going to be able to understand your potential is you got to know where you came from.
Uh-oh.
right.
I think you said something.
You have to know what you have
Yes,
the
sir.
potential to do.
That's right.
Now, they gave up on me. Man, I've been shot 6 times, stabbed in the penitentiaries and race rides. I ain't sitting here talking to y'all from some dude just off the street. I still got bullets in me now. Every time the weather changes, I'm reminded that bullets burn and that they hurt.
Ooh.
I done been shot in the back of the head. I got bullets all inside my legs, inside me, from being out in the streets listening to some music. Lil Wayne, I love Lil Wayne, man. He's a very intelligent young brother. But let me tell y'all something. Lil Wayne been rapping since he was 8 years old.
You know what I mean? Okay.
And Baby, y'all know who Baby is, the dude who own Cash Money, right? Lil Wayne was an investment. I run a record label for the longest. I'm not going to let my investment run around no projects, selling no dope, and popping no pistols, man. People is buying his CD. He's an investment. I'm going to make sure he stay out of trouble. What is my point? Lil Wayne ain't had no time to be cooking up no crack and gang banging y'all. But if you listen to him on MC, and I'm not telling y'all something just from bumping or hating, I've been in the rap game. I done ran around snooping and cubing these dudes. I know these people. I done been them up amongst these individuals. They didn't run in no projects and stomp in no penitentiaries or gang banging no streets. They told stories of individuals that they seen doing it.
That's right.
But when you listening to that music, you can't tell the difference.
That's
But I'm
right.
trying to tell y'all, most of these people is faking. And you know what the hard part about it? While they making hundreds of millions of dollars and they living back in these big mansions, they are far from the catastrophic consequences that happen as a result of what they talking to you about.
Ooh, that's deep.
They ain't in the hood. They ain't got to worry about none of the destruction. Now, I got off topic. Let me get back on topic. What's going on with Ferguson and what's going on with Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, this is real, y'all. I want y'all to listen.
All right.
Because I know we have it within inside of us, we feel like the police are the enemy. And I'm not really the one to sit here and embellish the police. Okay? My life has been in opposition to police pretty much since I jumped off the square.
Right.
All police ain't bad.
No.
They ain't all bad. Some of them have an understanding that you're the enemy. Some of them see y'all as targets. A lot of these police officers coming back from Iraq and from Afghanistan, they coming from war zones. Right. And you looked at as insurgents. Come on, you looked at as a target that's to be put down. And so what these brothers are trying to tell y'all is that when you get yourself in a situation, you got to think and be careful about what you do. It ain't the time to be bucking and tripping in front of these police and they sitting there with guns and they have the right legal authority to shoot you dead. And as you see as a result, they can have a camera on, shoot you dead, and still be called innocent.
That's right.
Even if you don't do nothing. So when the commissioner said this is about survival first, all them dreams that you got, they ain't gonna never come into manifestation if you get yourself killed. How many of y'all come from single parents? How many of y'all is living in a house of single parents? You ought to I want y'all to give everybody give a hand. The stuff that your mother or your father go through by themselves to try to give you an opportunity to have opportunities that they never had. Let me tell y'all something. Just because they can't buy y'all what y'all want right now, just because you can't get the new Jordans, and you really, I don't want to get out on Jordan, but Jordan is one of the leading investors in prisons. Wow. What is you gonna go buy his shoes for? And he's investing in money, waiting for you to fail so you can get money off you being in the penitentiary.
Uh-oh.
Why would you support somebody who's putting money in a place, waiting for you to slip? The same shoes you got on, he's waiting for you to slip so he can get money off you being in prison. Go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't knocking him. He was a great basketball player. Like Weezy's a great rapper. But until I see Weezy in my community, and until I see Jordan in my community, until I see Jay-Z in my community,
on, man.
until I see all these people in my community, really, I don't want no turkeys on Thanksgiving. I don't want no bicycles off inside Christmas time.
That's right. Come on now.
You done became a multi-millionaire of us.
Right.
They telling your stories. They telling your stories. But they not giving back. And then some of them might, don't get me wrong, some of them might be doing a few things. But what I want y'all to understand is, don't be distracted by the things that are going on right now, because it's y'all who are going to run this.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all don't hear that, man.
Say that again, brother.
You and y'all going to run this.
Go ahead.
But it's about what you going to do with it when it's your opportunity. That's why right now you want to make yourself prepared. And hey, man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all ever heard of the Black Panthers? Y'all ever seen those TV shows with the Black Panthers? You ever seen something? How old do y'all think the Black Panthers was? Somebody give me some math. How do you think it was? 56? 60? How old do y'all think the Black Panthers was? Younger than 21? What about you? 30. 30? I like your swag, young man. I like that tie and glasses. How about you?
15, 16.
15, 16? 17? 17? Y'all give me some good answers. The Black Panthers was 18, 19 years old, man.
Yep.
These dudes was 18, 19 years old, and what they did was they understood the Constitution.
Right. Do the law.
Right.
Now, I don't want to really get into that because it's kind of muddy, but what I do want you to understand is that you need to learn it. Because when you're getting pulled over or something happens to you, if you know the law, and I know this because I studied and got my paralegal's license in prison. When I was in prison, if you know the law, you can say, well, my Fourth Amendment rights give me the right from you to grab all on me and touch all on me. This is my right. What right do you have to do these things? In some situations, if it's tense, hey man, just go ahead and let him do what he got to do.
Right.
Let him talk crazy. Let him do whatever he got to do. Because you're by yourself.
Right.
You can't do nothing about that. But live to speak about it another day. Report it to somebody. Get in touch with some of these brothers who have power.
Right.
What y'all don't understand is the real power ain't the dude riding around with them 30s and stuff. The real power is these positions that these brothers up here talking about.
That's right.
That's real power. When you can make something happen and you can call and say, hey man, I got pulled over by so-and-so. This man did it for me one time. I don't know if you remember, I was getting pulled over, jacked up by the police, and I told him, I said, man, I need to see some rank right now. Call Luther Perry and tell him one of the brothers from the gang troops is getting harassed right now. And I think he was asleep at the time. Hey man, I knew my rights.
Right.
Man, let me call somebody I know who might have my back, because I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
That's real. And let me say this before I go. Half these dudes y'all see in the neighborhoods riding around with all this money, man, please listen to me. And I want y'all to understand, and elders, I want y'all to understand something too.
Say it.
Half these people that y'all see riding around having money, and I hate to say it because I got kinfolk doing it too.
Tell
I
it.
used to be a part of it.
Tell it.
Some of y'all might got uncles and cousins that's getting money. You say, oh, you hating because let me tell you something, man. Half these
tell 'em.
dudes is federal informants. They snitches.
Uh-oh.
They in the community selling drugs free with no pass.
Believe
Right.
it.
Believe that.
They ain't got no consequences to their actions.
Believe that.
Every time they get popped, they come right back home talking about the lawyer beat the case. I can tell you what the law don't allow.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of them is snitches. The same thing as they run around talking about you's a snitch, you's a mark, I'm a gangster, I'm this and that. Run around pants sagging, whooping on folks, beating up on the small kids, whooping on women, showing no disrespect, all disdain. They emulating these rappers that y'all see. Most of them is rats and snitches.
Right.
Come on, break that snitch down.
I know, I just did 12 years. I just came home in March.
Break
I'm
that
watching
snitch down.
dudes got 40 years come in and beat me to the house. How you beat me to the house? You just had 40 years, man.
What's a snitch, man?
Come on.
Let me explain to you what a snitch
Break
is.
it down. Break that down.
Listen, I want y'all to know and hear this from somebody who lived by the street codes when it was etiquettes and principles in the streets.
Uh-oh.
When it was real in the streets.
Uh-huh.
My mama house got shot up as a result of the gang troops. Everybody wasn't with the gang troops. Everybody didn't want peace. But I didn't do it for that purpose. I did it for the purpose because within inside me, God is still within inside me. Something's wrong, and I'll tell y'all about that later. But what is a snitch? If a tax-paying citizen, listen to me. If your mom or your uncles or somebody that y'all see in the community who's working a job, a square, they ain't in the game, they don't sell no dope, they don't do no macking, they ain't doing nothing side illegal. If they see you on the corner pistol whipping somebody, or if they see you out in the neighborhood selling a little dope, and they call the police, that's not snitching, man.
That's not snitching.
Their money pays the taxpayers' dollars, which pays for the police.
That's right.
They're paying for protection to stay in a decent community. That's why they're working hard. That's why they're mad when their house and their car get broken into. They work for that. You ain't that mad when you're selling dope because you'll get another one the next day, right?
Right.
You're not working for that. That's not snitching. What snitching is a dude that's running around with his chest all out, banging, is talking all that yang, talking all that tripping, acting all hard in front of everybody. And as soon as he gets caught, guess what he do? He tell on his own boy.
Right.
I ain't the one that had the dope. So-and-so had the dope. I ain't the one who shot so-and-so. Little girl shot so-and-so. That's a snitch.
That's it.
And 7 out of 10 of the dudes that y'all see rolling is snitching.
That's right.
And you can go tell them to talk to me about it because I'm not doing no tripping about calling it for what it is. The problem is that they get to run through our neighborhoods, set these examples, and make us think that we looking up to them because they got everything, right? They got the stuff that we want. But you can have that 10 times without selling them.
That's right.
You can have that 100 times over. You ain't got to worry about it getting locked up and then taking it from you. Because if you're not snitching, boy, the system is terrible on somebody who ain't snitching. If you think it's bad for a person to get caught, if you're not snitching right now, if you're not telling on somebody right now, you go up in front of that judge and he say, well, what you going to cooperate with me about?
Right.
Because it happened to me, and I said cooperate, and I'm thinking that the lawyer's telling me I need to just tell him what I did, right? I said, well, I don't have no problem. I'm going to cooperate. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. And so I told him what happened. He said, no, I need you to cooperate. I need to know who's selling the drugs. I need to know who got the guns. And I said, man, I'm not going to be no snitch. And he said, well, man, let me get back with you. And he came back inside the room. He said, man, if you don't give us no information, you're going down. That's just the way the system works. It ain't about you being right or wrong. It's about what you can tell them. And so I said all that. Why y'all waste y'all time? Why waste your time and everything that you can be dealing with these fakes and these frauds? Because I'm telling y'all, most of these dudes that y'all seeing fakes and frauds. The point is that your life has value.
That's right.
Your life has value. Y'all can be anything y'all want. You know what the highest grade? You know what the highest grade education that I achieved? And I'm going to close with this. You know what the highest grade education I achieved? Somebody. 6th grade. 6th, 9th.
Pre-K.
8th grade. And I don't think I passed the 8th grade. I think they just put me out their school. I really think they just wanted me out of school because I was not doing my homework. And so when they came around and said, Abdul Chappelle, you're going to Southwest High School. Let's get you on up out of here. I was like, man, I passed. Because I was tripping at that time.
Come on, man.
7th grade really was. I worked in the 7th. Well, my point is, I went to Wedgwood for it. Well, my point is that I had to learn everything that I'm talking to y'all about in prison. While everybody else was kicking and having a good time, all the dudes that y'all call nerds and squares and marks and all that because they doing their lessons, while I was sitting around smelling feet and tail, because that's all you're doing. You're smelling men's feet and tail all day. While I'm sitting around being told what to do, eating trash and garbage, them nerds and them marks is running businesses right now.
Right.
I'm 40 years old. I had to come home. I'm starting over at the same grade. I'm starting at the same level as y'all starting at 40.
Did y'all hear that?
At 40. I have a daughter that's 24 years old, a 16-year-old, and a 13-year-old.
Wow.
I come home to nothing. And you know some of the partners that was having money, they rushing up talking about, yeah, man, I heard you got books and you're doing your music. Let me give you some money. Man, is you crazy? I know you snitching. You're not going to give me none of that money, man. And go tell them people.